Okay, so hopefully everyone can see my screen. Again, this is the lesson for Excel for data analytics. My name is Francis. You can call me Francis. You can call him Mr. Francis. It's really up to you. I have no preference for that. So today we're going to go over lesson 1, which is the introduction to Excel. And then among the things that we're going to learn today, and then first of all, before I continue, how each of you consider the experience with Excel? If I can have like maybe 2-3 people, let me know, okay, they feel like, okay, they're beginner level or intermediate level.
Me, I would say beginners, but I've been using it for a while, but
Okay.
not extensively to the point where I can do tables. I mean, I can, do formulas and stuff like that. So I would consider myself as just beginner for now. Beginner from
Perfect.
intermediate from beginner to intermediate, somewhere in between.
Okay.
Me too, I would say beginner. I'm not really good at Excel.
Okay.
I just use it to do works, small sample work. So
Okay.
beginner.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah,
All right.
I would I would say the same thing as well.
Okay. All right. Sounds good then. So we'll go slowly and surely, and then please do not hesitate to ask questions. We are here for you. So there's no wrong question. So if something that you see that you need more clarification with, just let me know. I'm going to stop and then we're going to go over it. All right. So just a quick recap here. This is the Excel, if you can say the interface. When you open Excel, this is what pops out. You usually have the generic name of book 1, if that's the first instance you open it, or book 2, 3, 4.
Is your
So,
your screen is not showing?
oh, my screen is not showing?
No.
Oh,
I see your screen.
anyone else don't see my screen?
I can see.
I can see your screen.
Uh-oh. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna stop sharing and then share again. All right. Can anyone see? Everyone see?
Yes, we can see.
So, yeah, so as I was saying, on top here, we have the ribbon. The ribbon contains all the tabs that you have: the file, home tab, insert, draw, data. So we're not going to use like everything. So we're probably mostly gonna be in home, inserts, and then maybe page layout, and then data. So the rest probably later on, but our focus will be on those 4. And then within each tab, you have a variety of commands. So here, of course, I've selected the home tab, and you have everything here from manipulating the font. Here's for alignment, and then here for cell formatting. Here we're for conditional formatting and style, and so on and so forth. Okay, and then down here we have the letters on top and then the numbers on the right. So the letters represent the columns. There's from A, I think it goes all the way to triple Z. So it's fairly long. And then we have the numbers that represent the rows. So at the intersection of, the numbers and then the letters, we have the cell, which is our most important thing here in Excel. We'll be dealing with the cells. And then down here, you have the worksheet name. You can always change it. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys have access to a file here. So, Mr. Wilfred, I just wanted to make sure before I share the file here, do they have access to the Google Classroom already?
Not yet. I'm waiting to finish this and I'll get their email address and give them permission to that.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just gonna share the file here so they can follow with me. Cannot be sent because it's
Okay,
coming
at the
from.
same time, let me take this opportunity to ask them if
Okay.
each of you can send me your email in the what do you call it, WhatsApp group, so I can give you permission on all the classes. Thank you.
All right. So in the meantime, I've sent a file. Okay. So if each of you can open that file, and we'll walk through it for our first lesson. Okay. So the first one, we're going to go over. We're going to just do quick sales formatting. From changing the currency, fixing the size, and everything. But I would like you guys to follow with me in here. So if you have access to your Excel, to this file, if you opened it, just give me a thumbs up so I know that you have it open in your computer, and then we will get started with it. Okay. All right. So if you're good to go, I'm going to start here. And then if you can, if you have any question, let me know. Okay, perfect. All right, so here we have a fairly small data set. It's always good to start small because our main data set for this class is this healthcare data set, which is fairly big. There is about 55,000 rows and then 15 columns. So it's a fairly big data set with a lot of information. But before we get to work with this one, we'll just go step by step with small data sets. And then when everyone is comfortable, then we'll go ahead and tackle this data set here. And one thing with this particular data set is that I've never worked on it. So I downloaded actually this morning. So to myself also it's new. So it'll be also an opportunity for me to kind of redo it from scratch with everyone without having prior access to it. So let's go here with formatting the cells. So the first thing you see here, we have a small data set. It's about taxi trips. Okay, and then we have the fare column, tips columns. Okay, that's what I was gonna say. We have the pickup, drop off, passenger, distance, fare, the tip, toll, the total, the color, payment, the pickup zone, and the drop off zone. So at first, when you see this data set, it doesn't really make sense because you have only a bunch of stuff that are written here, and then you don't know where to start. Okay. First things first, when you see data set like this, the first thing would be to adjust the columns because sometimes when Excel does this, meaning the column is too small to include everything, so it's giving these pound signs. So the first thing we're going to do here, we're going to select, okay? So to select all, again, I'm going to share with you a bunch of Excel shortcuts. So you're going to click Control, Shift, and Tab. Okay, so when you click Control, Shift, and Tab, Excel is going to select the whole data set. And as you can see, some of it is outside, so meaning that our columns are not right in size. Okay, so to fix it, you can do it both ways, 2 ways actually. So this is the first one, which is the more conventional, and I prefer this one because it will just adjust everything correctly. Okay, so to do that, you come in the Home tab under Cells, you click on Format, and then you come here where it says Auto Fit Column Width. So once you do that, Excel will go ahead and fix now the column size. Okay, so now you can see that your column, your data set looks good. Okay, it looks great. So that's the first step that we took here, is to format the cell, but in formatting the cells in just to make it to the right size. Okay, so data analyst, the first thing you'll spend the time, you'll spend a lot of time looking at the data to see how and what you can, how you can tackle your analysis and what you can do with it. Okay, so here I understand I have the pickup time. Okay, I have pick up date time, drop off date time. I have the passenger per trip. I have the distance. I have the fare, the tip, the toll. This is the total for the whole trip. And I have color here. I have the payment method, pickup zone, and then drop-off zone. Okay. So as I'm looking at this data set, the first thing, let me ask the class. So once what you see here, okay, we're still in formatting cells. What next step do you guys think we should take as a class? Again, there's no wrong answers. It's just for participation purposes. Okay. Anyone has any idea on what to do next? Okay. All right.
I will
Go ahead.
make sure I color the, not the tabs, but the very top row 1
Yeah.
to make sure I differentiate it. Right.
Perfect. All right. Okay. So Alexander, that's great. Let's go ahead and let's color the top row. So since it's a small data set, you can just slide and then select it all, and then pick any color. Okay. You'll come here in the font under Home tab in the font section, and then this icon here, you can pick. Excel is not selfish on that side, so you'll have any color you can work with. So I'm a kind of a blue junkie, so I might likely going to pick blue. But okay, let's change for once. Okay. All right. Okay, so you have the color. This is perfect because it differentiates the top row, the headers, and then the rest of the data set. All right. Anything else?
Do we have to put like I don't know, like a table, or like, so it's kind of like, I feel like putting a table around, like board table on at
The
the,
borders?
yeah.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. We can do that. That's part of the thing that we're going to do today. Before we get to that, there's one thing that I wanted you guys to notice here. So when you look at the data sets, there's column that have a single value for everything. And for the purpose of this analysis, it probably won't serve as much of a purpose. So we're going to dispose of it. And then this is the color column. Okay. So the color column here, I think on the larger data sets, you have the yellow cub and then there's a green cub. But since I have a subset here and it's only yellow, so I'm going to dispose of that column. Okay. And we are getting there. Okay. So one other thing
Wait, can you
here.
go back? How did you dispose of the column, please?
Yeah, sure. So I just selected the column and then right click,
Okay.
delete, and then in this is like a for everything that you work with, whether it's Excel or Power BI, Tableau. If you want to undo what you just did, you press Control and Z, and it's going to go back to the previous thing. Okay, so
Control.
and then the letter Z. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so whether you're typing your code in Python or you're in Tableau, Power BI, even SQL. So once you click Control Z, it will undo what you did and then go back to the previous version.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, no problem. Okay. All right. So Alexander, we'll get to the border, but I wanted to show you guys a couple of things first. So we continue to look at the data set as an analyst. And then one of the things that you can notice here, the passengers, of course, distance, fare, tip, tolls, and totals are all numbers. But for a clean data set, you need to format it so it doesn't look confusing because you have, of course, passenger is 1, distance is 3.63, and so on and so forth. But if you think about it, distance is in miles, okay? Passengers also is in a number, but when it comes to fare, tip, the tolls, and then the total amount of the trip, that one is in dollars, okay? Or pounds, or any country that you are in. So to fix that, we're going to select all these 4 columns and then select the whole data set, okay? Because this is only what I need to change as a currency, okay? And then to do that, we're still on the home tab, and I told you guys here, this is where we're going to spend most of our time, okay? In the home tab, under numbers here, you can click and then it will give you a whole bunch of sales formats, okay? And then when you click to more, it gives you even much more of it, okay? But now, since we only want to convert this to actual dollars, there's already a preset here, okay? Once you click that, now it converted everything in dollars, okay? So now we're getting there. We already colored our top. We deleted a column that we did not need. We converted some columns in dollars, and then, we are getting somewhere, okay? Now, again, we're going to go through these different steps over and over again. So don't worry, even when we go to the main data set, we're going to go through this step again. But this is just warm up for you to get familiar. Okay, so now as an analyst, of course, so I know Alexander asked for the borders. Okay, so how do you do the borders? So you can do it in two ways, okay? You can do it manually, or you can use Excel to format as a table, okay? So how do you do it manually? So to do it manually, again, I'll send you guys the shortcut. So you can click A1, that's the table to go. You press Control Shift Tab. Excel will select the whole data set for you.
Control Shift.
Control Shift Tab at the same time.
Okay, I have a question right here. Where do you
Yes,
put
go
your
ahead.
mouse before? Where do you put your mouse before Control Shift Tab?
Okay, usually I put my mouse in A1, but
Okay.
usually you can put it anywhere within the data set.
Okay. Okay.
Anywhere within the data set, and then it will select the whole data set.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one more thing, another shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can put it anywhere, and then you do like Control A.
Mm-hmm.
You will select the
Control
whole
Shift,
Control A.
and then, sorry, I'm sorry, guys. It's Control Shift and then the space bar, not tab.
Okay, yeah, that's why when I did the
Yes.
tab, I couldn't get it.
Yes. I really do apologize.
No, that's
Control
okay.
Shift tab is for something else. Yeah, it's Control Shift space
Tab.
bar. So
Okay.
when you do that, yeah, it works.
Yeah, it did work.
Okay.
Let me try that now. Control Shift. Yep, it works. Okay.
It works. Okay.
And
Thank you. Thank
also,
you so much. Go ahead.
and also you can do Control A. It does the same thing.
Yes,
Control A.
absolutely. Control A also, Control A also work.
Select all. Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
control. Okay, let me try that.
Yeah. Control A is basically select all. So that's what it does. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Okay, so after pressing Control Shift and then the space bar or Control A, it will select the whole data set, or if you want to do it manually, you can just drag and drop and select it all. Okay, so under Home in the font section, you can come here and then you have a bunch of options for borders. Okay, so you can choose only the bottom border. Okay, it will just give you a border on the bottom. If you want, you can do the top, the left, the right, and everything. Okay, so for the purpose of this class, we'll use the whole border and the thick outside border. Okay, I'll explain why. So when you do the whole border, this is what it does. So every cell is now a border, and then it will give you something like this. But now I like to make a difference between for the outside border. So for that, okay, you stay in select and then you click thick outside border. So now the outside border is a little bit bigger than the rest. So it gives you a better difference with everything here. Okay. All right, so we are getting there. Our data set is starting to get some shape here. Okay. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, we already have formatted everything that we could here. Again, for letter lessons in Excel, we learn how to separate, because here you can see the drop off and the pickup have the date and time in the same column. So in our later lessons, we'll learn how to split those in two different columns, so you can have the date and the time for a cleaner data set. But for this lesson here, we're going to leave it at that. Okay, any question?
So far, so good for me for now.
Perfect.
For me,
Mhm.
yeah, it's okay. I'm a little bit behind, but it's okay. I missed the column where you have the color. I think my laptop was
Oh,
but I catch up.
okay, yeah, the color. Yeah, let us go through it. It was quick process so far, okay? We went on top here and then we selected the whole top columns,
Okay.
and then still in the font version, you come on this thing here and then you can, okay? And then if you want
Yeah.
even more colors, you can click on more color, and then Excel have a bunch of color here that you can use for your data set, okay?
Thank you.
All right. So next thing here, okay, and as an analyst, one of the things that you have to make sure of is that your data looks good. Okay. So as you can see on the top row here, most of the names are on the right side of the cell. So I want to make all of them to be in the center. Okay. To do that, I'll just select it as we did. And then you come here where it says alignment, okay? And then you click here. So here is for the right, so it's still on the right. When you click on the left, it will go on the left. As you can see it moving, when you click on center, now it's in the center, and then you click again center, so it's in the center. So this looks good so far. The next step you can do, and if you'd like, just for the purpose of this class, but in the future, we'll see how to make every first letter as an uppercase, but we'll do that in a later class. Okay, so for this one, I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. Okay.
Francis, I've already done
Yes.
mine in the first letter. I did it manually, so there is a way to do that automatically.
There is a way to do that automatically.
Okay.
Yes, there's a way to do that automatically instead of, going one by one. Yeah.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah, because if let's say you have like 50 columns, so if you have to go one by one, that would be very rough. But yeah, so
Okay.
you can just leave it like that, yeah, and then I will show you guys how to do it automatically. Okay. So next step here I wanted to do, because the data set and then the title are, even though it's in the color, but it's still the same size. So what we can do is just to make these bigger, okay? To do that, you can select this. There's two ways to do that. Either you press Control B to make it bigger, or you can just press this B here to make it bold, okay? So once you do that, okay, again, it'll get big. So now you have the difference between your actual data set and the titles. Okay, and as you can see, now that we have made it bigger, some of the content inside the cells are getting way too big. So let's go ahead and fix that again. Okay. So now our data set looks pretty much good. Okay. So we're getting there for our to make it clean and everything. So now we've added the borders. We've done everything we could. This is good. Okay. So again, as I told you guys, I will show you how to put the border like in a manual style, or we're going to use format as tables. Okay, that one will also give you borders, but we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so we have resized our columns. We have formatted some cells for currency, like in dollars. We have changed the titles, make it bold, change the color. Now, the next thing we're going to do here is what we call conditional formatting. Okay, so the conditional formatting is fairly simple here. We're going here for the payment type, we have credit and cash. Okay, but let's try to make it much more appealing by giving any cells that have credits will have a certain color, and every cell that have cash will also have a certain color. Okay, so to do that, you can select the column. Okay, if you wanna select the whole column for bigger data sets, or for this one, you can just select here, and then we're going to go under conditional formatting. Okay, and then under conditional formatting, we have a bunch of stuff here. Okay, but just for the fun of it, let's use distance. Okay, so we'll use distance, and let's use the data bars. Okay, I'll explain to you what it does or what it means. Okay, so for the data bars, let's use okay, we'll pick any color. Okay, so as you can see here, when we put the data bars, it added these little colors here. Okay, what it means, it will take the highest value and count it as 100%. And then from each value on the cell, it will estimate how big is it, or what percentage is it compared to the bigger value. So as you can see, the bigger value is 9.82 miles or kilometer. I don't know. Yeah, here in the US we use miles. Okay, so as you can see, the 363, 39 are getting to the middle. Okay, and then here at the end, the 4, and then the smaller version are like this. So this is what it does. Okay, and then the conditional formatting for the color scales. So let's use another one. Okay, that's fine. Okay, again here, the bigger value will have a darker shade of green, and then as you go down, it will go all the way to this to the red color. Okay, so the more you go down, the color of the cell will kind of fade away to the orange, yellow, and then all the way to red. Okay,
Can
so
you please go back and show me how you did the color, please?
sure, no problem. Okay, so what I did, I came here, I selected the fair column. I came in conditional formatting, and then I came to color scales, and then I picked you can just pick anyone as long as you know what it does. Okay, but it's always good to pick one that has many colors, so it will help you to differentiate everything.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I picked this one, and then again, 31 is the biggest value, and as you go down to the smallest number, the color changes from green to light green to yellow to orange all the way to red. So it can help you differentiate everything. So we have we use the color scales, and then we use the data bars. Okay, so for the data bars, you can pick also any color, but Yeah, let's use this one. Okay. So now the main purpose for this one was this column here. Okay, so for this column here, I want to do the credit card to show in yellow and then the cash to show, let's say, in orange. Okay, so this will differentiate, okay, yellow for credit card, orange for cash. To do that, we'll come in conditional formatting, okay, and then you come down here to manage rule, okay. So once you click to manage rule, a new window will open here. Okay, so once you click new rule, you're going to tell Excel, okay, I want every cell that contain credit card to be in yellow. So you come here, format only cells that contain, okay, this will pop up. You come here, you click specific text, and then make sure that it is exactly as it is written in your column, okay? So I have credit card, so format only cells that contain, you come here, you pick specific text, credit card, and then you come to format. Okay, so when you come to format here, you can do a bunch of stuff, but you can even add borders, change the font and everything, but we're going to use the fill section because we want our cell that is credit card to be filled in yellow, okay? Again, you have one yellow here, but if you click on more color, you have different shades of yellow, but it's up to you. You click OK. You click OK, all right? And then you click again, OK. So now, so far, we have our formatting, but it doesn't show yet because there's one step to do is to click apply. Okay, so once you click apply, all your cells with credit card are now in yellow. Okay, now we're going to repeat this step for the cash portion. Okay, you just come to new rule, format only cells that contains, and then specific text.
It's
Once you
just
click,
me, but
Mhm.
your stuff are really small. Is it okay to
Oh,
make
is
it a
it
little
really
bigger?
small?
Yeah, I don't know for anyone, but yeah, it's very small. Thank you.
Okay, let me, if there is a way to make it bigger here. Okay, let's see. If so it has to do with me sharing the screen. I do that on Zoom. So anyone knows how to make the screen, the screen bigger? Because I don't think I know how to do that exactly while I'm sharing. Can you try to do it on your computer to kind of see if you can make the screen bigger?
I already is like it's big, it's full already.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
So I
let's
think
try.
you can go to the bottom right-hand corner where it says the percentage. You can
Yeah,
adjust.
Yeah, that one too.
yeah, I did that, but I don't know if it will change the. Okay, let's try. Okay, let's try. So where were we? Okay, yeah, we're in conditional formatting and then manage rule. Is it bigger or still small?
Still small, but it's fine.
Yeah.
But
All right, so we'll try to fix that next time. Okay, so we'll just go to format cells that contains specific text, and then here we have cash. All right. We'll click orange, but I want this orange. Okay. Okay, apply. Okay. Now with our data set, we're getting somewhere. The data kind of looks appealing so far. And then okay, so this is what we have. All right. So for since we're getting close to our time, so the sorting and filtering we're going to do. Yeah, let me just go through everything. Okay. So so far this is our data set. All right. So what we did here, we spent our time somewhat cleaning, making it look appealing. You know, we changed the title, so now it's clear between the title and the data set. We formatted some columns that needed to be formatted. We added some conditional formatting in columns, and then we added the borders. Okay, so for this part of the lesson to formatting the cells, are there any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, so now let's jump real quick to sorting and filtering. Okay, so let me jump. So we did that. We did formatting the cells. Now we are in sorting and filtering. So what does sorting and filtering? So it just helps you to organize your data set. Okay, so you can filter in an ascending manner or a descending value. So ascending A to Z, descending Z to A. Okay. So we have our data set here. Again, as I told you in our first lesson, once you look at it, the first thing you can notice is that the columns are not in the right size. And then here is a bit larger than the one we did. The first one had only 22 rows, but here already jumping at 200 rows. So it's a fairly bigger data set than the first one. Okay. First thing we're going to do here, again, is to resize the columns. So you can do it both ways. You can do it this way by selecting column and then double clicking, and then it will resize it. Or we can do it the way that we did it earlier. You select your data sets, Control Shift Spacebar, and then you come to Format, and then Auto Fit Column Width. Okay. Now we are there. Okay. So here we're not going to go through the whole formatting, cells formatting. Okay. So we're going to jump directly into sorting and filtering. Okay, so what does the filter do? The filter will just filter a data set to what you actually need. Okay, if I can put it that way. So how do you add filters in your data set? Okay, you can do that by coming here again on the Home tab under Editing, Sort and Filters. You can click, and then it will add filters for every column. Okay, or you can just go ahead and press Control Shift and then the letter L. Okay, so the only reason why I'm adding these shortcuts is because later on, when you start diving into coding, you'll find yourself just doing this thing. So it moves fast, you know, instead of going all the way, click on home and then select and then done. You just click Control-Shift-L and then boom, you have your filters ready. Okay. So now that you have your filters, again, you added the filters, some of the column here became small again. So I'm going to resize it again. All right. So now it looks pretty good. Okay. So let's do some filtering and then sorting. Okay. So let's say you want in your data set, again, I assume as an analyst, you looked into everything and you know which column is which. So you have the order ID, the dates, customer name, the country, region, state, the city, postal code, the segments, and then the ship date, and then the ship mode. Okay. So let's say you just want to have all the orders from the East region. Okay. So to do that, you're going to come on in the filter, you click filter, and then you're going to select only East. You deselect all, and then click East. Your data set now is filtered to only East, the orders that happened in the East region. Okay. And then to select all again, you can either clear the filtering or reselect all, and then everything will come back to normal. So this filtering works best to data set that can easily be filtered. I mean, you can, to do that for order ID, that would be like a whole, unless you know actually what order you're looking for, but it works really good with whenever you wanna select, for example, for a specific city, okay? Or you wanna select for a specific segment, okay? That is very easy to do on those. And then the last one here for the shipping modes, okay? Let's say your boss wants to have all the orders that were in priority shipping, and then you have all this, and then you can just send it to him real quick, okay? Because if you had to go through each and every column to figure out which one was priority and start selecting, and that will take you like a whole bunch of time. So once you do that, you have selected priority, and then now it filters to priority, okay? So now the sorting, you work in a similar way, but it just it changed your data set to show the from A to Z or from Z to A. So let's say, for example, the order ID or customer name. So let's pick here. If you want to do your order ID from A to Z, okay? So it will just fix everything. So every order that starts with A will come on top, and every other order will go back to everything that starts with A on top, and then everything else will follow. Okay. So the other thing, you can also do that with this one here if you want to sort, but for the numbers, it will show you, it will ask you if you want the smallest to largest or the largest to smallest. Okay. So again, here we just have zip codes. So it will just sort the smallest zip code to the highest zip code. So it started with 1,000 something to 9,000. So that's how it will sort it. And then again, if you want to cancel it, you can just either press Control Z Okay, that would be the best thing to do. Okay, again, for region, you can also sort. Let's say you want to sort from Z to A, so it will start with the closest letter to Z, which is West, and then goes back all the way to Central, which is C. Okay, so this is how you do your filtering and sorting. Okay, any question on that one?
Yes, I have a question. I was just wondering, okay, let's say if you decide to do the sorting from, let's say, the column of probably the city, okay, does it change the entire sheet when you apply the sorting, or it just apply to that column alone?
Yeah, I mean, yes. So what it does, for example, if you're gonna do the sorting from A to Z, yes, it will change everything. However, all the column will still have the same value, but it will just be replaced to the actual position where they were supposed to be. So let's say, okay, what column? Let me clear. So let's go back to our initial before the sorting. So we have Rock Spring, okay? You can see Rock Spring is on top. So
Yeah.
once we do A to Z, so Rock Spring will be all the way down somewhere here. Yep. So you see, it just changed its position. So it will change the whole data set.
Okay.
But yeah, the column, the row will still be
Yes.
the same, but the position will just change
Okay, that's what I need to know.
alphabetically.
All
Yeah.
right, thank you for making that clear because I was wondering about it. So,
Mhm.
thank you.
Oh yeah, if we just change everything, yeah. I see.
Then it can mess up your data set, you know.
Yeah.
The whole thing move. Okay, good.
Mhm.
Thanks.
No problem. Okay. So, any other question? So, this is where we are real quick. So, I wanted to show you guys one more thing, which is part also of our lesson today, is the formatting as a table. You know, as you can see, this data set looks good, it's fairly clean, okay? But if you want to format it as a table to even look much more appealing, what you can do is on the Home tab under Styles, okay? Format as a table, and then you have a bunch of a bunch of preset format here that you can pick from to format your table. So to be safe, I usually select cell A1. Okay, you come to format as a table. Pick any table, okay? And I told you guys I like blue, so I'm likely to pick blue, okay? And then once you click on that, Excel will select the whole data set for you. Okay, so you won't have to click Control A or Control Shift Tab. Okay, so you won't have to do that. Okay, and as you can see, we already have headers here. So order ID, order date, customer name, all of them are already headers. So make sure this one is always clicked. So my table has header. So Excel will know that, okay, you already have headers, okay? Once you click OK, now boom, you change your data set to what you actually want it to look like. Again, you can do some quick fixing here on the Home tab to make sure that the column width looks good. Okay, and then you can also, this thing has to disappear. So you can also change your, yeah, that's what I wanted to look for table design because I want this thing to disappear. Okay, I'll put it here. All right, so you can, once you have your table, okay, you can always change it to any color you want, okay? So if you notice, there's nothing here after Power Pivot, okay? But once I click on my formatted table, there is this tab that pops out called Table Design, okay? Once you go to Table Design, this is where you can change, again, your table, you know, pick any other table. Like, it's really up to you, okay? You can change it the way you want, okay? If you wanna keep it simple, okay? Or if you wanna change it according to how you want it, okay? Let me update it to all right, so let's say this one, okay? So yeah, all right, so as a homework, I want you guys to do a conditional formatting for the segment section, okay? So for each segment, consumer, corporate, and home office, you can pick any color you want. And then I want you to do the same for the ship modes, okay? So economy, economy plus, immediate, and priority. Okay, and then remember, conditional formatting, you just select the column. Okay. Once you've selected your column, you come to conditional formatting. You can click on new rule, but if you click on new rule, you'll have to re-click it every time you do this. So it's better to go to manage rule, and then inside manage rule, that's when you can click new rule. Okay, I'll just do one with you guys. Once you click new formatting rule, format only cells that contains specific text, and consumer, make sure that it looks exactly as it is in your data set. You click on format and then pick any color you want. So I'm gonna pick, this is already blue, so I'm gonna pick this green. Okay, 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 and then apply, boom. All right, so all my consumers are now green. So you can do that for the rest. Okay, so that's your homework. And then next week, we're going to pick up from, yes, go ahead. Any question?
Yeah.
Before?
Can you redo it again, starting from conditional formatting?
The conditional formatting, sure.
Yeah, the same one you just finished doing. Can you redo it one more time with a different color? I just want to see.
Okay.
Yeah, one more time. Thank you.
No problem. So I'm gonna do it with the ship mode. Okay. Make sure to select your column.
Okay.
Conditional formatting.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You come to manage rules.
Okay.
And then from here, you click new. So as you can see, the previous one is not showing because it's a different column. Okay.
That's right. That's right. New rule.
So come to new rule, and then you click format cells, format only cells that contain. Okay.
Okay.
So once you do that, it says format only cells with. Okay. We're not looking for a value, but we're looking for a text. So specific text. Okay. And then there's also other version. Okay, but we'll only focus for specific text. And then here you have to make sure that whatever you're trying to format is exactly written the way it is on your data set. Okay. So here I'm going to pick let me pick the economy. Yes, once you do that, you come to format, and then let's pick any color you want here. Okay, if you see like you feel like, oh, here there's not enough color that you want, you can click on more color, and then it will give you this bunch here. Okay, so let me challenge myself here. I'm going to pick this color here. Hey, no, let me put the purple. Okay, all right. I'm gonna click apply. So everywhere there's economy. Now this is very challenging. Okay, do you guys see what's happening here? I asked Excel to
Do
everywhere there's economy to make
Eh,
it purple.
that's right. Economy
It's the economy plus too.
Yeah, economy plus. So now the fact that economy is here, now it's just capturing everything. This is challenging. I'm glad we did that here because this was going to be challenging. Okay, so I don't know how we're gonna fix this one, but yeah, this will always the fact that economy is there, unless we add. Okay. You know what? We can have a turnaround here. Okay, so
then we just add a plus for whatever plus you want, and then minus the economy. So
let me see here if we can change that real quick. Okay, let's have it as an exercise real quick. So I know we're going to use this in our next lesson, but I want to change. So this economy here, I want to make it economy basic, and then economy plus will just stay economy plus. So let me see if that will work. So we'll come to find, and then let me try here, find economy with economy basic. Let's see if that works. It's still doing the same thing. Okay, let me start with economy plus then. Let's see, economy plus, change it with premium. Okay, so replace all. Okay, so this will make our work easier. So everywhere there was economy plus, I change it to premium, and now the issue is fixed. Okay, so we'll go over again. We'll go over it again in our next class when we'll do the find and then find, replace, and some data validation. So that's what we'll do for our next lesson. But the homework is still going. So now we don't have economy plus anymore. We have economy, immediate, premium, and priority. Okay. So yeah, we can do it that way. Any question? Question?
Are you going to resubmit, or are you going to share this one with us, or do we have to do what you just did on the previous sheet that you share with us?
Yeah, so try to work on the previous sheet. I can also share this one with you guys. Okay. Whenever you have access to the classroom, so I will share it with you, and then next week we'll pick up from the basic function, and then yeah. So
also, when would the recordings be uploaded so we can at least review it?
I mean, it would be fair to give it maybe 24 hours. I don't know, 24 or 48 hours for everything to be uploaded. But that's a question Mr. Wilfred can answer best.
And also,
Okay.
and also for
Mhm.
the Python class, is it starting from next week or is it?
Yeah, so for the Python class, I don't know. Mr. Wilfred, I don't know. You have an answer for that one? When will the Python start class? The Python class will start.
Yes, I do. I'm gonna
All
tell.
right.
We're gonna talk about it all this when you're done.
Okay. All right, class. I thank you for your attention and participation. So we'll meet again next week. In the meantime, if you have any question, let me know. I'm going to share the file that I worked on, and then you also can work on your own. And if you want to anticipate to work on the formula versus function, that's up to you. Okay, the PowerPoint is already uploaded, so feel free to, if you want to work on advanced, learning advanced, that's fine. Any question would be here to answer. So, Mr. Wilfried, back.
Thank you.